back to the Flower Farm. I'm Victoria and I'm the farmer florist here at Origin. It's now June, could you ever believe it? The time is just flowing in. But it's been so sunny the last few days and there's sun forecast for a long time, so it's been a real busy time recently getting everything planted out. May would be probably one of my busiest months, and then June would be probably the next busiest, but I love June because the colours that are coming out, all the perennials are really like in their stride now. So I just wanted to show you today what's been happening, and we'll maybe go on a wee tour and see all the different plants and what we're actually putting out at the minute. So we'll go into the Polytunnel first of all. You maybe remember one of my previous videos, I had lots of tulips and ranunculus in this Polytunnel. Well, that is long gone now, and ranunculus are all cleared, tulips are all cleared, and this is what the Polytunnel looks like now. So much beauty, so much froth at the minute. I think that's why I love June so much. Like, look at the Orlea, so gorgeous. And this bed is that I didn't actually plant it. This was all self-seeded, and I considered taking it out and just planting it like I would normally do. And I thought, no, I'm just for this year going to let it grow and see what happens. So this is what has happened. Absolutely stunning. So we have the sweet pea, which as soon as you walk in here, the scent of it is incredible. We have the Dahlias here. That will come out in a gorgeous purple colour. That'll be so beautiful. We have the dark sweet pea as well. This here was where the ranunculus was. That's all come out now. I'm actually going to put tomatoes in here because we love our tomatoes here. These are our Allium, which they're like little tiny drumstick Allium, which I really love. And they're so useful for wee buttonholes and things. Now the cats have decided that this is where they love to lie, so there's a big massive hole and they're now all quite short, but they'll still be usable and they're still lovely. The anemones are long finished. We'll save the seed of these anemones, and then we'll leave them in the ground, and then I'm just going to replant over the top. I'll be replanting sunflowers in there. We have snapdragons in here. We have our corn cockles, which I adore. Taller than me. I just love the colour of them. I love everything about them. They're so dainty, so beautiful, so pretty in weddings. We have more asters and snapdragons here. And then have a look at these larkspur. Oh, I love anything that is really tall, and larkspur are one of my absolute favourites because they're so tall but so sort of dainty as well. So I have white ones, and I also have this kind of electric blue colour here. I've cut loads of these already because I've had a few weddings recently, and these are lovely in weddings, especially in venue work. They look very striking. This one here in particular, the colour of it is just so stunning. And there will be more to come out here. There's the smoky lavender one in there, which is also beautiful. One of the things I think that I've really enjoyed the most this year has been the annual gyp. I put some in here just to kind of spill it. I've actually used a full bed of it already. But look at that. It's not like the gyp you get, you know, the normal gyp. It's like just so pretty, so dainty. So we grew that in maybe March, and it was in flower. It's been in flower now for maybe about a month. So we've been having all these gorgeous, dainty white blooms for all our weddings. So it's just spectacular. Last year I left these Dahlias in the Polytunnel just to see what would happen if I thought maybe having Dahlias in a Polytunnel was a good idea. And I think, as you can see, that yes, that was a very good idea. About to have a Dahlia bud, and I know that this one is Sweet Suzanne, so that's going to be so useful. And that one I think is Linda's baby, so amazing. Very excited. I was a wee bit worried about them because we did have quite a cold winter, and I did nothing with them. I didn't cover them, did nothing. And look, there you have it. They're so healthy. They're just looking fantastic. Well, this is the bed of yarrow, the Kelia. Look at the colour of this. Vibrant, gorgeous, beautiful. We have our roses have come out as well with their really long stems. I knew putting roses in the Polytunnel would be a really good shout, and they've come out early and they've been so good. I've been using them like loads and I just love them. And this bed is full of more Orlea and white cosmos, which I really wanted for a wedding. It just didn't come out right in time, and it literally came out about 2 days later. But anyhow, that's just the way it goes sometimes. And then we have all the cress, which I will use some of it, but I'll probably dry most of the cress because I love dried cress. I think it's so pretty. We have more stalks We grow stalks basically successionally. We start them autumn time, and we've had them end of April, and then we keep having them. Like these ones will be ready quite soon, and then the ones up there are smaller, and then we've more outside. Stalks are just really great, even though they're a one-hit wonder and they come and they go and that's it. But I love them. I think they're beautiful, and the scent is spectacular. Although the scent is maybe not just as nice as these babies. These sweet pea are glorious. I just can't even tell you how nice they are. I'm sure you all know the smell of sweet pea, but these ones are so scented that whenever I come in the polytunnel at the other end, it just like engulfs you. It's just incredible. This is actually quite interesting. We have some chrysanthemums about to flower, and it's June, which is quite strange. These are just perennial plugs that I bought years ago, and they just come back, you know. Sometimes I'll probably cut these. I'll get a second flush of them in October, which would be more normal chrysanthemum time. But any flower that comes out is worthy to be celebrated, so excited for that. The Sweet Williams in here have been going for ages as well. I really love this bed because I love the kind of pink and red that's happening right now. I think pink and red get a bad rep, but I love pink and red together. I think it's very, very stunning. So that's this polytunnel, full of beauty. Just love coming in here, especially at this time of year when the weeds haven't quite started yet. So it's all just kind of enjoying it and cutting the flowers and see everything change day by day. We have loads of allium. This has been a great year for our allium. These ones are now kind of starting to lose their flowers, and I've told you before, I've shown you before about the dry flowers that we let them lose all their petals and then hang them upside down, and then we keep them for Christmas. Like, look behind me. Now, you wouldn't believe that I had orders last week, and I've cut at least 200 of them, and they're still looking like this. They've just been spectacular. Very popular, very stately, just gorgeous. And then I'll show you our flower field for this year. So I decided to change things up a wee bit. Last year I had this all planted out, and I just wasn't really happy with it, how it worked and everything. So this year I have gone a different direction and have it more contained, and just so I can organise it better and manage it all better. So this is why I've been spending the last month doing this in the Dahlias. So we have just needs, it's almost all planted out now. I have a few wee bits left to do because I need to leave some for later flowers. We have like Amy, Cosmos, Status. I did a full bed of straw flowers for drying this year. I did a full bed of Cosmos Purity, which is the white Cosmos, because I think maybe in every wedding that I'm doing this year, everybody wants that, and it's just really, really pretty. I have Bells of Ireland, tried to do a mix of flowers and foliage. So what we do is we do no dig. We just put the compost on top. We have covered it over the winter time, as you probably saw. Then we put the compost on top and then liner on top of that, and then I burn the holes of my tin plates into it, and then we plant out our little plug plants. So we don't actually transplant, or we don't like put anything into like bigger pots. We just go straight from the plug tray outside. Just saves a wee bit of time. So now we're almost ready to finish this, which is very exciting. It's been taking ages. I'm always excited to get a big task like that done, especially now whenever it's so sunny and you just want everything to get out. Because you can see the plants here that were done a few weeks ago are so much further ahead than the ones further on down. But it's nice to get things that are coming a bit more of a succession. Our sweet pea is out, and sort of means we'll get more over the next few months, because well, the ones in the polytunnel still keep going for a good while, but then by the time these are up they will be finishing, so that works well. Now I want to show you the Dahlias, so come with me. You know I love Dahlias so much. We split so many of them last year, and we had a very cold winter, and I was slightly worried that they would be okay, but they were mostly, there was always a few that don't make it, but they were mostly fine. And interestingly, there was one row that kept flowering right into November, and I didn't really have the heart to take it out. And then you know what happens then, it's the Christmas workshops and you just don't get the time. So actually I left it and kind of forgot about it. And then I thought, must have been maybe the end of January or start of February, I actually dug them out, and they were all intact. And I couldn't believe it. So the ones that were left outside, uncovered, nothing on top, really, really frosty. I was panicking about them all, of the ones I had inside. They were totally fine. It just shows you, doesn't it? You just never know. However, I won't ever keep them in the ground outside because of our slug problem. Like, we've had so many slugs. They'll be dying a wee bit now because of this, of the sunshine. But I've had the ducks out here every night trying to go around and eat as many of the slugs as they can. But because I don't want all my little plants to die, because that'd be such a waste. So as you can see, I have 9 rows of dahlias here. There's about 1,000 dahlias that I planted all by myself in that big field. Took me forever, but I'm so pleased, have it done now. So all I need to do now is give them their liquid seaweed feed and then let them grow. And what month is this? June. Like by the end of July, this will probably be starting to really colour, and then the start of August, it'll just be like awash with colour. It's going to be so spectacular. So I cannot wait for that. I've grown so many new varieties this year. I'm quite excited. I'll do a top 10 of my 2023 dahlias, and we'll see how different it is from my 2022 ones. So very excited for that. So now I'll show you now our other polytunnel, which in my last video I was showing you all the ranunculus, and that was quite the scene. They're now finished. I was very sad, but I can't complain because they went from, what did I cut my first ranunculus on the 2nd of April? I think it was, or no, it was before that. It was actually the end of March, and I've just started taking them out maybe, this is like the end of May, so they have been really quite incredible. I've had 2 months of ranunculus basically, but now they're gone. I need to get them all out. I've started that process, but it will take me a while. Been trying to get the outside stuff done first because I want to put my zinnias and some sunflowers and celosia in the polytunnel down here, things that love the heat, because it gets roasting hot in the polytunnels, especially now that it's summer basically. So can't really put things, so it's actually harder to maintain things now in the polytunnel because you have to water them so much and it gets really hot. But I'll just show you this anyway, and you can see what's happening. I have some, just seeing the gorgeous self-seeded sweet rocket that's come out. So we had sweet rocket in here last year, and didn't plant any this year because I knew it would self-seed, and we have tons of it. I've cut so much of that and it's still coming. So this polytunnel is completely crazy at the minute. It needs attention, but that is next on my list. But I have been putting in sunflowers. I have those are ranunculus, but they're sort of finished. These poppies just appeared. Now I don't have the time yet just to get in here finished, so I'm just going to let these flower get the seed heads, because I can dry the seed heads, use them in the flower crowns and wreaths and things. More sweet pea in here, like so tall, but so gorgeous. Just love it, absolutely beautiful. My zinnias are way down at the far end, and I have my celosias in there too, and then some more sunflowers. I have a lot of my pro-cut sunflowers in here, which don't get just as tall, and I have more sunflowers waiting in seed trays, and they will be coming in here too. Some branching varieties and some single stems, and more zinnias, which we've just planted like last week, so they're not really quite ready yet, because like things will come, like I've already got a succession, so but I don't want everything to come out at once. I want it to be staggered over the next wee while. And I don't know if you can see the calendula that's planted down there, those lovely yellow flowers. If you remember, I planted those whenever I was planting the ranunculus, I planted those at the same time to attract the aphids, and it worked a treat. And actually all the they were covered in aphids over the ranunculus season, and they didn't really bother ranunculus to the same extent as they normally would. Like there were still some in the ranunculus towards the end of the season, but it was such a good idea. I was really pleased I did that. Plus it looks so pretty, so whenever I would walk in and see the ranunculus, it was full of colour, and then you see the calendula, it's beautiful, and they will keep coming now, and they're useful. I don't really use them like in bouquets or anything because they wouldn't last that long, but they're really useful in like weddings because they have that lovely colour. They're also edible, so if anyone wants edible flowers, they're really nice as well, and I just like to look at them as well. They just provide a real lovely bright colour. So I really recommend doing that. I'm going to try experiment a few more of things like that. You know, like try not to like use chemicals. We don't really use chemicals here. We try to do everything as natural as we can. So if you have any tips on something like that, let me know. If there's any kind of companion planting that you have found that actually works. We've done before like garlic in with everything, which I think works a treat. We tried this year to do our spring onions in amongst the plants, but it didn't really work. So if you have any top tips, let me know to keep the slugs at bay. Feels like it's not the biggest problem at the minute because of the sunshine, but you know, who knows how long that will last. So I hope you enjoyed this little tour. I need to get back to netting all my plants now. So now that I have the plants in the ground, most of them, I need to be sure and get the netting up, because there's nothing as more annoying than saying I'll get round to it someday, not getting round to it in time, and then it becoming a real nightmare trying to get the netting on. So we put the netting on so that it's nice and flat and all the flowers will grow up through it, and that if there's any wind or if they just get too heavy, that they don't just all flop on the ground. So top tip, always net your flowers. It takes a bit of time, it's a bit footy, a bit annoying, but it's completely worth it in the end. So I must get back to work, and I will see you next week. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to get notified whenever we put out the next video. And please just let me know what's happening in your area, what you're doing, because I really love hearing all the comments on the different areas and the different things you're growing, and any top tips that you have as well. Just share them for everybody to see, and I will see you next time.